Stop now, listen, give me these breaths. In 2, 3, 4, hold. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let your shoulders fall from their guard. Let your jaw soften. Your hands do not have to live like fists. This is not content. This is an encounter. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. You have been counting by clocks and calendars, by the tremor behind your eyes and the weight between your ribs. You lined up the days like bottles on a shelf and wondered if any of them held the taste of change. Hear me, you called this still. I called it setup. While you traced circles in dust, I laid tracks beneath the dust. While you held your breath, I taught the wind which way to blow. Breathe again. In 2, 3, 4, hold. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel the room grow one shade quieter. That is me, look again. The hinge is catching light. The pin slides. A quiet clicks open. The corridor that narrowed to a straw's width widens to a hall. The door that forgot how to move remembers. I'm the carpenter of chances and the locksmith of seasons. I shape wood that said never into arches that say now. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. You questioned the river upstream, feared it ran dry beyond your sight. You wondered if the messenger lost the road, if your ears betrayed you, if hope mispronounced your name. No, the river did not dry. It tunneled. The messenger did not wander. The road bent under my hand. I do not whisper yes and live no. I do not stutter when I bless. Hear the house settle without groaning. Hear a small bird refuse to ask permission for song. These are advance notices. First notes hum before a procession appears. You do not yet see the crest of what comes, but if you listen, leather murmurs, wheels breathe, footsteps belong to courage again. Place your palm by your heart. Feel the rate ease by one count. I am here. You called yourself afterthought. You wore nearly like a coat. You learned to walk bent so expectation would not be disappointed. Stand at full height. Your spine remembers joy. Your mouth was shaped for more than size. Beloved, rise. I wrote a name inside your frame that does not rhyme with lack. Night claimed it was endless, but it could not explain the line of light beneath the curtain. The valley swore there were no exits, but it could not silence your breath answering from higher ground. The desert preached nothing grows, but it could not find the seed I hid the day you said yes through tears. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. You fear that if you hope too loudly, disappointment will hear and come. That if you rejoice too soon, joy will be confiscated. That my goodness is a hallway with a trap door. My joy has no trap doors. Gratitude does not jinx gifts. Gratitude is a key. Turn it. Hear the tumblers drop. Watch the latch surrender not to force, but to thanks. I am not bargaining with your pain. I'm not measuring your worth or tallying to see if mercy is affordable today. I'm here, near enough to hear the sentence you never finished, close enough to feel the tremor that hides in your fingers. Place that tremor in my hand. Shaking learns a new name when it rests in steadiness. In 2, 3, 4, hold. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel heat gather behind your eyes. Let it soften the edge of the day. The peace you feel now is proof, not pretense. You prayed where no audience gathered. You forgave without applause. You blessed in secret and filed no receipt. Nothing evaporated. Germination loves the dark. Roots begin shy, not weak. Delay built depth. Depth holds weight. There is a map, and yes, I drew it. It favors elevation over distance, formation over speed, truth over trend. It is not allergic to detours, because detours are the only roads wide enough for what I send. I took the long way to widen your heart without breaking it. I used the side door to hide you from wolves while you healed. I led you through quiet so your ears would learn mine. Lift your face. Let your eyes practice meeting light. You are not rehearsing loss anymore. You are warming up for inheritance. Peace is already walking your street. Provision crossed the border of your tomorrow with documents signed in my name. Healing passed quietly at midnight when you slept and could not argue with kindness. Restoration boarded the early train because dawn insisted on witness. Honor is coming as a mirror, not a trophy. So you will see what I say when you forget. No one can stop it. Not the critic who learned your middle name. Not the giant who learned the shape of your door. not the memory that pretends to be now, not the fear that dresses like wisdom to be let inside. I veto verdicts I never wrote. I cancel contracts panic drafted. I revoke permissions you gave to lesser voices. My decree stands like sky that refuses to fall. Hold yourself like a house prepared. Clear a table. Place 2 cups. Open a window. Light a lamp. Teach the room its owner. Speak aloud what you believe when the room is empty. Tell the walls kindness knows the address. Tell the doorstep blessing wears quiet shoes. Tell the floorboards to remember the weight of dancing. If this steadied you, stay close. Subscribe so this peace keeps finding you and those who need it most. When old ache knocks, do not call it home. Offer it water, then send it on. Pain is not your landlord. Shame is not your surname. Anxiety is not your calendar. Let my voice be the only pen allowed on your days. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. I do not convene a committee to approve your future. I do not seek the consent of those who underestimated you. I do not need weather to cooperate to plant a garden inside your chest. I speak and soils listen. I call and stones roll. I gesture and grave cloth loosens. I name what is not as though it is, and it becomes. You will call this the moment arrival began, the soft click before the latch, the perfume before the door, the pressure change before rain. You will say, something shifted, and you will be right. I moved a mountain the size of a thought. I bent a line that pretended to be straight. I revealed a path hiding under your feet the whole time. Align your words with mine. Say, it is coming. Say, I will see it. Say, I'm ready inside as well as outside. Readiness is not a stack of documents. It is a yielded heart. Preparation is not perfection. It is permission. Permission given to grace to be as generous as grace chooses. If tears rise, let them fall while you make room. If you must rest, rest with the lamp burning. If you must be quiet, let the quiet be faith, not fear. And when the knock comes, and it will, do not apologize for opening quickly. Do not apologize for joy that looks like running. Do not apologize for a face that forgets how to be careful. You waited well. Let celebration teach your muscles a new language. I am not teasing you with hints. I'm training you with hope. I'm not hiding peace. I'm placing peace where you cannot misplace it, at the center where you keep your yes. Touch your chest. That is where I build my thrones. I do not rent a corner. I reign with kindness. What I reign over flourishes. What I touch awakens. What I promise arrives. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Stand inside that sentence until it stands inside you. Let it frame bills and reports and headlines and memories. Let it cushion hard chairs and lantern narrow halls. When doubt clears its throat, answer gently, I have heard a better word. When fear arrives with credentials, respond calmly, the owner is home. Not rescued, commissioned. Not popular, pure. Not hurried, held, breathe, in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel how the air tastes different when hope sits at the table. Hear how the room stops rehearsing worry when promise enters the doorway. Lift your eyes. The hinge shines. The handle waits warm to your touch. The frame says welcome. The threshold says you fit. Step across. The next minute will show you why pressure was preparation. Look again. Hear the hinge breathe. Feel the room change temperature as air remembers how to move. What you called a lifetime of closed corridors was a season of hidden carpentry. I worked behind the wall where your hands could not reach. I measured the frame. I planned the warped grain. I reset pins time had bent. I taught the door its first language, opening. You stood with your ear to the wood and heard only your own heartbeat. You thought silence meant denial. It meant craftsmanship. It meant patience strong enough to bear your weight. It meant the next swing would not splinter and the next threshold would not betray your step. Breathe with me. In 2, 3, 4. Hold it out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice your shoulders drop one notch more. That's me steadying you. You carried copies of keys that never matched the teeth of destiny. You tried them all. Effort, image, over-explanation, apology. They scraped, they scratched, they stuck. Lay them down. I forged a new one in the secret fire of waiting. It turns without force. It honors the door, and the door honors it back. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Stand still and listen to the frame speak. It says welcome. It says you fit. It says you were expected. You feared thresholds of tricks, that after the first step the floor would give way. I laid joists where fear imagined gaps. I hid strength under the grain, so your feet would learn trust by walking. This house does not collapse when you breathe. This house was built for the weight of your yes. Take one step. Hear the answer of the floorboards. Take another. Feel your chest loosen like a door unlatched from within. Light finds corners it has not visited in years. Dust loses its argument for staying. Air remembers how to move. I have been working on more than wood and metal. I tuned your hearing to the pitch of my voice. I taught your hands the difference between forcing and partnering. I trained your eyes to prefer true light over the flares of spectacle. So when the door opens, you will not rush like fear. You will enter like peace. You worried about hands on the other side, gatekeepers, critics, watchers at windows. Let them watch. They did not build this entrance. They cannot bar it. I wrote your name along the lintel before you knew the word belonging. The hinges answer to me. The seasons turn on my wrist. I recalibrated the swing so it would not slam against your past. I softened the edge that used to catch your clothes and nick your hope. I sanded places that taught you to walk small. Now you will pass without snagging. Now you will breathe without bracing. Put your palm to the grain. Feel the story inside the rings. Years of drought survived, years of rain absorbed, a patience that kept growing inward when outward felt impossible. This door remembers what endurance sounds like. That is why it opens when you sing. Sing low at first, the way a dawn begins, then clearer, like a bell in clean air. Let your voice be the handle. Let your truth be the keyway. Let your gratitude be the turn. Not rescued, commissioned. Not anxious, anchored. I am in the oil that keeps the hinge from accusing you. I'm in the level that holds the world steady while you step. I'm in the plumb line that says upright when shame says crooked. I'm in the welcome that greets you before you knock. Do not apologize for the way you enter. You are not breaking in. You are coming home. You asked for a sign. This is not a dream made of want. Listen to the ordinary, obey me. The latch answers. The air shifts. Your heart slows to the tempo of trust. Even your shadow stands taller. Tonight, the peace that floods your room will be your signal. Tomorrow, a word will arrive that echoes what you hear now. In the next 3 days, a door you stop pushing will open inward. I am everywhere in these moments. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. If a door closes behind you, it is not to trap you. It is to keep out the weather that used to live in your bones. If a window opens ahead of you, it is not to tempt escape. It is to teach how far light travels when nothing stands in the way. Walk the hall and count thresholds I prepared. Each one leads to a room fitted for a part of your calling. A table for counsel, a studio for making, a quiet place where tears turn to water for gardens. You will not have to choose between them. You will learn the rhythm of moving with me from one to another without losing yourself. Set your hand again upon the knob. Feel how it warms to your touch. You are not an intruder to your own life. You are not late to the appointment your name was spoken for. Every turn you make with me leaves the metal gleaming. And when you hear another heart waiting in a corridor like the one you knew, teach their hands what pressure is kind. Loan them your song until their own returns. Tell them the secret every hinge knows. Oil is just love with patience in it. Breathe. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold it out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let your tongue rest from rehearsing explanations. You will not justify grace. You will live it. You will not sell your way through this entrance. You will steward it. Not rescued, commissioned. Not seen for spectacle. Trusted for substance. I am not finished building. Even as you enter, I am drafting additions you have not imagined. Sunrooms for laughter, cellars for memory where nothing rots, stairs that rise without stealing your breath. My architecture wastes no pain and hoards no glory. It turns both into shelter. Look back once, not to mourn but to bless. Then look forward. The next door is learning your name. The next handle is learning your hand. All creation is practicing welcome. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Let the final sound for now be simple. A click, a breath, a step, and the quiet certainty that follows. You are inside what I opened. You are safe where I placed you. You are free to walk every room I light. If this settled you, stay close. Subscribe so this peace keeps finding you and the weary ones you love. In the next part, I will rename what tried to name you. Prepare to hear your true name and wear it without apology. Look at your name, not the one fear scrawled on a bad day, not the one shame kept whispering in the hallway. Hold it up to the light and watch false letters fade. The true letters glow. You are not afterthought. You are not almost. You are not nearly. Beloved, chosen, kept. I wrote that before your first heartbeat, and I did not use pencil. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, hold. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel your shoulders lower a measure. Feel your tongue unclench its need to defend. This is not content. This is an encounter. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. You learn to live with your shoulders half raised, as if the sky might fall if you relaxed. You edited your laughter, softened your hope, practiced the art of leaving early so disappointment wouldn't find your address. Lay those skills down. They were survival in a famine. They are not furniture for a feast. Listen, the road hums with arrivals, not thunder, not panic, not the boots of dread rehearsing tired scenes. This is softer, steady, assured, leather speaking low syllables, wheels exhaling dust, steps that remember where they're headed. The first wagons of fulfillment are nearer than your doubt admits. They do not hurry. They have nothing to fear. They carry what I said on days you thought I said nothing. Put your hand over your chest. Feel a warmer center gathering, like a lamp turned up in a quiet room. Your body recognizes truth before your mind finishes arguing with it. Say it softly at first, beloved, then clearer, chosen, then with your full voice, kept. Identity settles when your mouth agrees. Gratitude opens what force cannot. Thank me for the breath you just took. Thank me for the chair that holds you. Thank me for the thought that did not spiral. These are coins of a new economy. You asked for a sign. Here is one. Your fear is running out of vocabulary. It keeps repeating itself while peace keeps finding new ways to say stay. Another, your eyes are holding light longer. They do not flinch at goodness or blink away mercy. Another still, your shoulders remember how to lower without being told. This is not self-hypnosis. This is recognition. You were designed to answer my name for you. I call you what the world forgot and what pain tried to rename. You wore nearly like a coat, but nearly never fit your frame. I tailored a garment called enough, lined with dignity. It does not sag when storms pass. It does not shred when rumors pull. Put it on, feel how it honors your shape. Not rescued, commissioned. Not performing, becoming. Not chasing, receiving. Walk to the mirror that once negotiated with your worth. Watch it learn a new job. Witness, not judge. The mirror will not bully you today. It will repeat me. When memory drags in a box of old labels, open it with mercy and sort. Some you will release like coats in summer. Some you will fold as testimonies. This was once mine. It no longer fits. None will return to your shoulders. Touch your jaw. Let it loose another notch. Notice the air change, the way rooms learn your steadier pace. You are not rehearsing loss anymore. You are warming up for inheritance. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. I will send ordinary confirmations, a phrase you needed falling out of a stranger's sentence, a color that always calmed you showing up at your door, a message you forgot you sent returning with an answer. Do not call these accidents. Call them arrivals. Call them promises keeping appointments. When you are tempted to discredit them, remember how famine teaches suspicion. You lived long in a house where good news wore disguises. In this house, good news can knock without masks. Name yourself out loud. Do it as liturgy when you wash, when you walk, when you wait for the kettle to sing. Beloved, chosen, kept. The syllables tune your steps. They lower your breath. They sit like bread on a table you forgot you set. And when someone asks, what changed? Answer with the simplest truth, my name. If they require more, give them peace, not proof. Lift your spine. Feel how height does not equal swagger. This dignity is not defiance. It is alignment. It is what happens When your inner room stops renting space to accusation, accusation will try again. It will show paperwork. It will point at smudges. Point to my decree, paid, washed mine. I veto verdicts I never wrote. I cancel contracts panic drafted. I revoke permissions you gave to lesser voices. The sky refuses to fall on days like this. Practice blessing with your new name. Call others by names I give them. Loan courage like bread. Make room at your table for travelers who don't yet believe they are loved. Your identity multiplies when it feeds the hungry. It is not a trophy on a mantle. It is a lamp by a window. Let it burn. Let it make a circle on the sidewalk where someone notices warmth and lingers. This is how legacy sounds, soft, but it echoes forever. Tonight, as you lie down, lay your hand on your chest and repeat the truth until your pulse harmonizes. Beloved, chosen, kept, then add what you feared to hope. It is coming. I will see it. I'm ready inside as well as outside. If this steadied you, stay close. Subscribe so this peace keeps finding you and those who need it most. Sleep beneath a sentence that refuses to be overturned. Wake under a sky that refuses to fall. In the next part, I will spread a map that favors height over hurry and show you why detours do not steal destiny. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Spread the map on the table of your heart. Hear how true parchment sounds, promise crackling with memory, edges rustling with kept vows. Run your finger along lines others missed, contours that look like hesitation but were really protection. I drew these paths with a steady hand. I marked elevations you could not measure from the valley. I favor height over hurry. I favor formation over speed. I favor truth over trend. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel clarity climb as your breath climbs. Confusion thins at higher altitudes. You wanted a straight highway that made sense to every observer. I gave you a sure path that makes sense to me. Switchbacks that teach muscle and mind. Left then right then left again, not to taunt you, to strengthen you. Endurance grows by meeting the same slope from different angles. Your spirit learns wisdom the same way. Every pause on this map shelters you while storms spend themselves on empty fields. Every turn that looked like loss kept you from a cliff hidden by applause. There is a side door here. It is not second best, it is sanctuary. I hid you from wolves by leading you behind the hedgerow, through orchards they never bothered to patrol, past wells they didn't know how to draw from. You called it obscurity, I called it oxygen. You asked why I erased one road with my thumb. You did not see the ambush ahead. You asked why I penciled a path through bramble. You did not see the honey hidden in that thicket. I'm not improvising routes as you walk. I walked them all before you. Listen, maps have an inner compass when they are true. It is not metal, it is a knowing that leans. Peace grows heavy when you face the wrong way, and lighter when you turn toward me. Take 3 small steps forward. Stop. Notice the calm increase. This is how we will travel, not by panic, by presence. Not rescued, commissioned. Not rushed, led. I posted angels where night would otherwise argue. I stashed courage like bread beneath stones you will sit on when you tire. I left notes in margins with handwriting that will look like yours in a few months, because my voice grows familiar as family. When fear tries to sell you a different chart, check the ink. It runs when it meets tears. My lines shine when you cry. They do not blur. There is an X on this map, not for treasure you must dig for promises that will dig you out. When you arrive, the ground will yield like a friend who has been saving your seat. You will meet travelers. Some carry rumors like dust. Some carry water like mercy. Drink from the ones who make you more honest with me. Walk with the ones whose pace ruins your schedule, but restores your soul. Do not fear the narrow bridge. I reinforced it while you slept. Do not fear the tunnel. I set lanterns at intervals your anxiety cannot anticipate, but your faith will recognize. Do not fear the pass between high rock. The echo there will teach how loud praise can sound with only a whisper. Place your hand on your throat. Feel the hum of a song trying the room for size. Let it out, slow first, then sure. The map likes that. You think detours steal destiny. Hear me. Detours are where I add strength without audience. They are where I repair axles and rename you. They are where the enemy loses your scent because you walked in peace, not panic. I sealed borders that used to leak you dry. Old companions called should and prove lost their visas. Shame's passport is revoked. Comparison's contraband was confiscated at the gate. You travel lighter now. Mark with your nail the places where you must not camp, though the grass looks soft. Comfort is not always care. Circle the wilderness, where you will rest better than in cities. I will set a table there and teach the desert how to host. When night falls on this route, do not draw monsters where I have drawn stars. Name what you actually see: faithful lamps of heaven, quiet breath of trees, steady rhythm of your steps matched to mine. Climb the ridge I chose and look back without regret. See the valley where panic tried to crown itself. See the ravine where shame tried to echo forever. See the field where you learned to call me good with empty hands. All of that shaped your stride. None of it stole your future. Now look ahead. The line descends into kindness. The river bends toward favor. The city glows like a trust, not a test. Gates will open because they recognize my seal on you. Windows will lift because hope wants your voice in its rooms. If you lose your place, place your hand on your chest. This is the compass. Peace is north. Love is east and west. My presence is every direction at once. Stand still until the swirl settles. Then take the smallest obedient step. Obedience folds distances. Tonight you will dream of a path brighter than others. Follow that brightness this week. Within 3 days, you will overhear a sentence that repeats this map back to you. That is me confirming coordinates. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Roll the map and tie it with trust. If this oriented you, stay close. Subscribe so this peace keeps finding you and guiding those who wander by your light. In the next part, we will stop traveling and start hosting. I will teach your house to bless you back. Open the door you set for dawn. Let the morning step across the sill. Do you feel the weight of light? Gentle, not small. It arrives with announcements wrapped in calm. The clock is kind here. The floor is steady. The air has been practicing welcome all night. Set the table, 2 cups, bread within reach. Room for 1 more chair. Make space, like someone who knows company is certain. You have lived long with borrowed expectations. Return them. Face the window toward the street where goodness walks. Listen to the ordinary obey me, kettles sing, latches rest. Floors remember dancing. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Do not brace for impact. Prepare for embrace. This is not an inspection. It is an arrival. The gift you feared would demand a performance asks only for honesty and room. Name the rooms with truth. Call this one peace, call that one courage. Call the small sunlit alcove mercy. Call the long hallway endurance. Every name will fit, like labels placed by love on drawers that open easily. Gratitude is a key. Hold it. Turn it without hurry. Hear the inner tumblers drop into agreement. Doors open best to thankfulness. Thankfulness speaks the dialect of promise. Not rescued, commissioned, walk barefoot so you can hear the house answer you. The quiet you feel is not empty. It is full of consent. Touch the wall with your palm. It is warm, like a memory that stopped accusing you and started blessing you instead. Breathe with me in 2, 3, 4. Hold out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel your ribs make more room. Feel your jaw unclench another notch. The air learns your pace. Your pulse learns mine. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. If worry asks for a chair, stand with me at the sink and rinse it away. If shame knocks with old paperwork, point to the decree pinned above the mantle. Paid, washed, mine. I'm not sending a parcel from far-off quarters. I'm walking in with what I spoke. Arms full, voice steady, timing exact. I carry restoration like a garment tailored to your measure, wisdom like a lamp with oil that will not embarrass you, joy like a river that knows your name. Set aside the language of scarcity. It has no chores in this house. Use the language of stewardship. Ask, how shall we use this well? Ask, who needs a seat at this table? Ask, where can this overflow heal what hunger left behind? This is how a house becomes a blessing and not a museum. Place a listening chair near the window. Teach the room your liturgy of welcome. Come in. Sit down, rest here. You're safe. Keep a gentle question folded on the armrest. Keep a story that ends with mercy within reach. Hum a song you don't mind singing twice. Tuck a pocket-sized blessing near the door for travelers who did not know they were weary. This house is wired for hope. Even the switches know the hours you used to dread and choose light before you ask. When the bell rings, open without apology. Do not tidy away the proof of living. I prefer homes with evidence of hearts. Let laughter come first and explanations later. Give tears a plate and a napkin. Let silence sit holy between sentences. I veto verdicts that try to shrink your table. I overturn orders that kept you in the narrow room. I cancel old permissions you gave anxiety to rearrange the furniture. This is your dwelling and my delight. We will set it in order together, not rescued, commissioned. Bless the roof for saying not today to storms. Bless the windows for teaching your eyes to hope. Bless the doorway that asks you to lift your head to pass. Bless the hallway for practicing patience with your pace. Count not what is missing, count what is moving. Track faithfulness that arrived in small daily shipments. Patience in brown paper, kindness with no logo, courage in unbranded jars. Lay out tools of welcome, a clean towel, a steady kettle, a soft light, a chair that doesn't creak when someone is telling you the hard part. Watch how your rooms answer with warmth. Feel your breath lengthen, just standing in the hall you once feared. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. There will be hours when memory tries to renegotiate the terms of joy. It will bring witnesses from darker rooms. Do not host a trial. Host a meal. Point to me and I will answer. If accusation returns with stamped forms, point to my seal. I will refuse it. If fear stands outside with a clipboard, close the curtains and start a hymn. Let praise be the document we file. The house will take notes. Even the cup hooks will learn your hallelujahs by weight. Walk to the room named peace. Sit on the floor for a moment and hear how quiet shapes the space. It is not silence that erases. It is silence that heals. Your breath becomes a metronome for mercy. In 2, 3, 4, hold. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You will notice the walls loosen the tightness of yesterday. You will notice the ceiling stop practicing collapse. I've been doing carpentry where your hands could not reach, straightening beams of belief, sanding splinters of suspicion, squaring frames so doors will not stick when joy uses them daily. Go to the room named courage. On the shelf, there is a small box you forgot. Inside is a sentence you used to say before the world rehearsed your silence. Take it out, try it on. It fits again. Stand near the mirror. Watch the mirror learn a new job. Witness, not judge. Your face will not ask permission to hope today. The mirror will not negotiate your worth. It will repeat me. Move down the long hallway named endurance. Notice how the floor meets you without complaint. Notice how the bulbs do not flicker when you remember last year's winter. Every step is teaching the house your rhythm. Every step is teaching your heart that rhythm is allowed. Endurance is not a room where you grit teeth. It is a hallway where you keep walking because love keeps pace. The frames on the wall hold photographs you were afraid to print. Look, the day you stayed, the hour you forgave, the minute you chose truth with empty hands. These are not trophies. They are testimonies. They do not shout. They shimmer. Enter the small sunlit alcove named mercy. Sit where the light gathers. Let it rest on your face without interrogation. Light does not expose you to wound you. Light reveals you to heal you. It traces new lines where old furrows learn to live. It warms the corners where fear tried to colonize. It renders color to what shame painted gray. Stay until your eyes stop blinking away kindness and begin to hold it. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Go to the kitchen. Practice the art of enough. Eat slowly. Speak kindly. Leave margin on your plate for late arrivals. Make room on your calendar for surprises authored by goodness. Hold your plans like doors on soft hinges. When you step into the street, carry welcome with you. Bless thresholds that are not yours yet. Smile at windows where someone is learning to believe. Tap a bridge rail and whisper, strong, for those who will cross after you. Scatter simple sentences that sound like open gates. Come in. Sit down. Rest here. You're safe. This is how a house extends itself beyond wood and brick. This is how promise becomes neighborhood. There will be days when the air in the hallway tastes like yesterday's arguments. Open a window from the top, not the bottom, and let faith rearrange the air. There will be nights when the stairwell rehearses old echoes. Place a small lamp on the landing and teach the dark its limits. There will be mornings when a door resists. Do not force it, thank it. Thank the hinges for their work. Oil them with gratitude. Gratitude opens what force cannot. The house will learn your thank yous and begin to anticipate them. You will reach for a handle and feel it warm to your touch before you grasp it. Inventory the pantry like heaven counts, by sufficiency, not scarcity. Not what is missing, what is moving. Not what you lack, what you carry. Shelves remember kindness differently than you do. They remember the day courage arrived in an unmarked jar. The afternoon patience came in without fanfare and took the lowest shelf. The evening hope visited in plain cloth and fit every cup. This is the economy of a blessed house. Nothing flashy, everything faithful. Invite me into each room. I stand where you worship and where you weep, where you work and where you wonder what's next. There is no square foot that isn't perfect for my presence. I do not require cathedral ceilings. I make cathedrals out of size that decided to trust. I do not need designer light. I turn obedience into windows. I do not ask you to hide the scuffed boards. I call them testimony of footsteps that kept going. Not rescued, commissioned, practice small sacraments. Make your bed like liturgy, wash dishes like prayer, lock doors like trust, turn off lights like benediction. Teach your house to bless you back. A chair that reminds you to sit without shrinking. A mirror that speaks truth without cruelty. A doorway that insists you lift your head to pass. A bookshelf that keeps testimonies within reach of your hard days. Hooks that hang forgiveness at the same height as coats. Rugs that remember dancing more than arguments. Your house will become a teacher gentle enough that you do not notice you are learning until courage feels like habit. If memory tries to rename your rooms at night, answer softly with the names we chose. Peace, courage, mercy, endurance. If worry puts its suitcase on your bed, show it the guest room you no longer rent to fear. If loneliness sits on the stairs, sit beside it for one breath and then invite it to sing. You will find it was longing for fellowship, not company for despair. The house knows the difference, and it will lean toward songs that keep the soul. Expect visitations that arrive without spectacle. A letter laid under the door with a line you prayed to hear. A fragrance of bread from the kitchen when no one is baking. Memory rehearsing provision. A soft knock in an hour you once dreaded. Goodness wearing familiar shoes. Do not call these tricks of mind. Call them timely mercies. Call them practice for the greater arrivals already in motion. If this warmed your home, stay close. Subscribe so this peace keeps finding you and lighting someone else's window. Your house is not only a refuge, it is a lighthouse. Its windows are sermons. Its steps are invitations. Its table is a covenant. You will feed those who do not yet know they are hungry. You will listen those into strength who thought they had no words left. You will host presence in a way that teaches people to trust their own breath again. You will be tempted to keep doors shut when blessing feels too generous. Let generosity finish its sentence. Blessing does not make you careless. It makes you careful with what matters. It teaches you to notice the exact size of grace, to measure with joy instead of fear, to remember with praise instead of panic. Open the door slowly, yes, but open it. The hinge is oiled. The latch is true. The frame speaks welcome before your mouth does. There will be a day when you hear two sounds at once, the bell and your name. You will open and find fulfillment smiling like relief. It will not ask for credentials. It will ask where to put the bread. Make room. Clear the counter from worry's clutter. Wipe the table with gladness. Sit, eat while it is warm. Bless the baker you cannot see. Pass slices to the ones who arrive behind the blessing, drawn by the smell of hope. Do not count portions. Count faces as they relax. Count shoulders as they lower. Count laughs as they learn their own volume again. When the house is quiet after celebration, breathe with me. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Walk through rooms and thank them for serving. Thank the chairs for holding. Thank the plates for partnering. Thank the floor for forgiving scuffs. Thank the walls for keeping confidence. Houses listen. Gratitude turns walls into witnesses. Witnesses hold you when storms come back to check if you mean it. Prepare a spare bed. Put a folded yes at the foot. Someone you love will knock at an unexpected hour with a question they cannot phrase. Let them rest first. Answers sleep better after mercy. Put water where a hand will find it in the dark. Hang quiet on the doorframe so shame cannot get in. Your house is a school where people learn how safe hope feels. You will not call attention to it. You will live it. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. There will be routine days that seem too ordinary to carry wonder. Those are my favorite rooms on the calendar. Make tea, sweep crumbs, return books. These are not fillers. They are fibers. The fabric of a blessed life is woven from threads that never trend. I'm in the mending, in the sweeping, in the setting right. I'm in the way you place a cup handle toward another hand. I'm in the way you leave a light on for someone who has not yet decided to return. If a storm comes, let the roof say its line. Not today. Let windows hold their ground. Let gutters remember the path of release. If lights flicker, light the lamp that learned prayer as its second language. If wind presses the eaves, laugh softly and say, "We built with wisdom." Your house is not arrogance. It is shelter shaped by obedience over time. The blueprint was never about square footage. It was about soul footage, how much room love gets to move. At evening, gather the house into a single breath of thanks. Put your hand on the lintel and bless all entrances, seen and unseen. Put your hand on the table and bless all conversations, spoken and unspoken. Put your hand on your chest and bless the host, willing and learning. Then speak the refrain with me, not as a slogan, but as breath you believe. What you promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Before you sleep, leave one lamp burning low in the room named peace. Teach the night where to bow. Let the clock tick friendly. Let floors creak like old friends settling. Let the kettle sing the last song. If dawn wakes you early with a weight you cannot name, bring it to the table and weigh it against promise. Promise is heavier. If noon finds you restless, open a window and let faith rearrange the air. If evening brings memory with sharp edges, wrap it in gratitude until it cannot cut. This is how a house blesses back. It receives your trust and returns it multiplied. Tomorrow, someone will stand at your threshold who reminds you of yesterday's you. Offer them bread before advice. Offer them a chair before answers. Offer them quiet before questions. When they ask why your rooms feel different, tell the truth without spectacle. The owner moved in. If they need a name, give mine. If they need proof, let peace be the document we file. Not rescued, commissioned. In time, your house will teach other houses. Neighbors will borrow your liturgy. Come in, sit down, rest here, you're safe. Blocks will learn to bless. Streets will learn to hope. Windows will stop rehearsing suspicion and start practicing light. And you, without trying to orchestrate it, will find that you are living inside a promise so ordinary and so steady that only gratitude has the right words for it. I am here. I am faithful. I am not late. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. Put your hand on the earth of your own heart. Feel how it is not empty ground. It remembers rain. It remembers roots. It remembers a seed that seemed like nothing. Nothing is not nothing when I plant it. A whisper is not small when I breathe through it. A delay is not denial when I bury treasure to grow it tall. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, hold. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hear the soil move under your palm like a sleeper turning toward dawn. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. You wanted harvest in the hour you sowed. I wanted a forest that could hold weather. You wanted fruit before noon. I wanted roots that keep you through winters you cannot yet name. Listen to the dark. It is not against you. It is a womb for what cannot survive direct sun too soon. The soil is doing more than hiding. It is holding, warming, guarding the tender split where life begins. Break, little seed. Split where it hurts. Open where you swore you could not. The first miracle is downward. Roots before branches, anchor before anthem, silence before song. Do not despise what grows where eyes don't go. Underground is where you become unstealable. I sent rain without announcement. I sent warmth through cold ground. I sent minerals from stones that once resisted you. Even the hard things feed you now. Even the seasons that starved you become bread. You called the calendar your judge. Let it retire. Time is a servant here. It carries buckets to your roots. It stands guard at night. It keeps watch while you sleep and names each hour enough. Delay builds depth. Depth holds weight. Hear the roots speak. Stay. Hold. Drink what comes. I will make it useful. They pull wisdom from old floods and pack it into new strength. I'm the gardener who refuses to rush you into the wind. I'm the keeper who knows which storms are coming and grows you accordingly. I'm the teacher who drills you in the quiet, so praise in public will not make you hollow. Not every green thing is growth. Some things flare then fail. I'm not raising fireworks. I'm raising trees, shade for wanderers, shelter for birds, fruit for hungry friends you haven't met yet. Feel the first push. Pale spear pressing toward air. It trembles and insists. It pierces yesterday's crust. That soundless crack is a trumpet in heaven. Rise, tender shoot. Do not shame small beginnings. Small is honest. Small is accurate. Small is how oak introduces itself to sky. I will pace your growth so weight will not break you. I will teach your trunk to disagree with the wind without hating it. I will show your leaves how to spend light without going into debt. You will learn exchange, sun into sugar, pain into prayer, waiting into wisdom. The insects that once devoured you will become teachers. You will grow bark where they taught you were soft. You will grow rings where they thought you would remain thin. Every ring is a testimony. Every ring says, I lived another season. Every ring says, he kept me. Do not compare gardens. Climates differ. Soils speak in dialects. Assignments are not identical. You are not late. You are layered. You are not behind. You are becoming deep. When drought visits, and it will, I will lead your roots to an old river under the map. People will ask, how are you still green? Answer quietly, we prepared in the dark. When flood comes, and it will, I will teach the ground to drink without drowning you. You will hold through surge and swirl, not because you are stubborn, but because you are anchored. You prayed for branches. I gave you backbone. You prayed for fruit. I gave you fibers that can carry it. You prayed for speed. I gave you seasons that make sweetness instead of shadows. Pick up the spade of gratitude. Turn yesterday's soil. Bless the stones that stayed. They became a terrace. Bless the worms that worked. They kept the underground alive. Bless the rain that canceled your plans. It kept covenants with your future. Look, buds like punctuation after long sentences, each a small exclamation of my faithfulness. They do not compete. They keep time with each other because they keep time with me. You feared the harvest would expose you. It will reveal me. Taste will tell on my kindness. Scent will testify to my patience. Color will echo the light I sent. When hands come to pick, you will not flinch. You were grown for giving. You will not resent the basket. You will rejoice in the table on the other side of the field. Leave margin on your boughs. Not every fruit is for market. Some are for travelers who did not know they were hungry. Some are for the child who cannot reach unless you lean. Some are for planting next hills and next years. And when winter leans close, do not panic. Dormant is not dead. Rest is not regression. Sap slows like prayer at night. Energy travels inward to mend and plan. Even snow becomes mulch in my arithmetic. I will prune what steals from you. I never cut to embarrass. I cut to increase. I shape you for light. I remove crossings that bruise you. I free the future trapped behind too many good things. Hold steady when shears gleam. The blade is love. The angle is wisdom. The result is room. For air, for sun, for singing. Stand and listen for the wind, rehearsing its old tricks. Let it try. You are not fragile. You are planted. You are not exposed. You are enclosed. You are not guesswork. You are a garden I designed. And I am not done. The field ahead is already learning your shade. The hill beyond is already tasting your fruit in dream. The path between is already soft with leaves that will become next year's strength. Hold still, grow deep, rise true. Give sweet, now speak the refrain with me, not as slogan but as breath you believe. What you promised is already on its way. No one can stop it. If this steadied your roots, stay close. Subscribe so this peace keeps finding you and watering fields you have not yet seen. In the days ahead, you will notice 3 simple signs. A task that felt heavy becoming light, a conversation that used to drain now leaving you stronger, a night of sleep that feels like new soil around your base. These are not accidents. These are arrivals. Receive, release, repeat. Hold nothing with fear. Hold everything with love. I'm the well under your floorboards. I am the river under your road. I'm the rain that remembers your name. Lift your cup even on small days, especially on small days. I fill small first so you never mistake me for spectacle. Rest not as collapse but as trust. Let your breathing join the cadence of a kept promise doing what it does, arriving, settling, blessing, spreading. I am here. I am faithful. I am not late. What I promised is already on its way. No one can stop it.